This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911. Terror from the air. A small plane drops from the sky.
The pilot looked to me as if he was not alive.
Be there as heroic witnesses.
It looked like he'd taken out the windshield with his head.
Pull the injured passengers from the ruins of the twisted wreck. Then,
Buster's really stuck.
a helpless dog is trapped.
Too tight, I can't get it through.
On Rescue 911.
When the safety of our world is threatened, we often have to rely on the knowledge and skill of strangers to survive. I'm William Shatner. Tonight on Rescue 911, true stories of teamwork and commitment in the face of extraordinary odds. We begin on June 28, 1992, in the skies above Southern California, as Danny Sadik and his father-in-law, Bill Nelson, were flying in an experimental aircraft to the town of Big Bear.
That was the first day that Danny and Dad had gone up in the plane. And, of course, that was the day of the earthquake, the big earthquake.
Around 8 a.m. that morning, a large earthquake struck the town of Big Bear, causing widespread damage.
That quake seems to be in the 7.0 category. It certainly felt that way. Most of the damage we've had...
It was very busy. We had major road closures on all 3 roads leading into and out of the Big Bear Valley. Telephone communications were down, and it knocked our communication out here at the Sheriff's Dispatch Center. We were literally running back-to-back calls for reports of chimneys down, buildings down, had people that had strokes, everything you can imagine. And for a small paramedic service, we weren't ready to handle that number of calls.
When Danny landed his plane in Big Bear and he and his father-in-law saw the extent of the damage, they decided to fly back home to Escondido.
I was a little afraid when he first told the family that he was going to build an airplane. But Dan is a very intelligent man, and I have a lot of confidence in him.
Sheriff's Deputy Robert Copley was on his way into work early to help with the town's rescue operations.
He's having a real hard time.
Myself and my wife stopped alongside the runway. And being a pilot myself, I noticed this aircraft, it was having difficulty climbing out.
He doesn't have any runway now.
I watched him cross over the end of the runway, and he was still having difficulty climbing. I told my wife he was definitely going to crash.
Barry Grant and his wife Ann were vacationing in Big Bear.
I saw 2 fellows on the side of the road kind of looking in the air, pointing. They're looking at something. What are they looking at?
And then he drove a little further, and there was a break in the trees, and he said, Ian, there's something down over there.
I'm a pilot, and my eye keenly picked up the blue and white tip of the wing. I knew immediately as soon as I saw just that tip, that's an airplane down, somebody's down.
When we continue.
I went to the far side, which was the pilot's side, but the pilot looked to me as if he was not alive.
Danny Sadik and his father-in-law had been on their way home in an experimental aircraft Danny had built when the plane crashed in an open field. Off-duty sheriff's deputy, Robert Copley, had seen the plane go down and radioed from his pickup truck for help. Much of the footage was taped as the events unfolded.
I went to the far side, which was the pilot's side, but the pilot looked to me as if he was not alive.
Okay, don't try to move. Barry directed me to the passenger, and I glanced over there at the pilot. I thought that I saw bubbles in the blood in his mouth. And so I thought, I think he's alive.
Okay. You're going to be okay. Your vehicle?
No. You need to cut him out.
I'm a nurse in an operating room, and I think he was real close to dead when we got there.
Okay, you want to cut him out?
Yeah, cut him out.
Hold on, let me get under here. Hold on, let me get it good. Hold on.
I was concerned about his spinal cord, but the back of the neck weren't going to matter if we didn't get him to breathe.
1, 2, 3,
Barry, come here,
go.
help me. Right here. Get under
Go.
his back.
Bring down. Bring down.
Okay, lay him flat. Get his clothes and cover him for shock. You're going to make it.
I was concerned that if I move this blood clot that's around his nose, am I going to get more of a gush if this is arterial? But I elected to move the blood away to get some air through.
Just gently. Take some deep breaths. That's it. Good. Okay, good.
He was pretty much unconscious, but he would breathe when we told him to.
Okay, take some deep breaths. Just gently, honey.
What do you got on this?
But he wasn't getting good air exchange, and I remember thinking I would have given my right arm for some suction.
You're good, buddy. You're going to be okay. Get you out.
The passenger was probably in shock because he didn't really know where he was. He didn't realize that he was even in the airplane or that it had crashed.
When the first emergency workers arrived on the scene, they began working to free the passenger.
Might be a little heavy, so hey, don't let this. I got it back here. Back on. It's on its way down. Wait, I got the safety belt on. Oh! Okay. Hey, release it. You got the scissors? Get it. That's the way. Turn it. Turn that. Good. Good job.
Within 7 minutes, paramedic Jim Higbee arrived with the Bear Valley Rescue Units and began to treat the pilot, Danny.
It looked like he'd taken out the windshield with his head. The fact that they'd pulled him out might have saved his life. Keeping his mouth open and letting the blood flow out to the side might have been all they could do. And he needed aggressive suctioning because he was literally drowning in his own blood.
Hey, let's get some people over here. We need some help lifting him. We got a backboard coming right now? Right behind you. Yeah, right there. Coming up. It's all right. Oh, that left leg!
I was amazed. Everybody, as they came, just seemed to mesh right into and be able to work together so well.
Can you feel this? Yeah, up in that area. Can you feel this? I don't feel it. Okay, move it over. 1, 2.
There was a helicopter on the way, but it was delayed, and I just really felt that his golden hour was going down the drain. Once the blood pressure starts bottoming out, then that's a late and grave sign. It means there's no return from that usually.
Because of the earthquake, no medical helicopters were available, so a sheriff's helicopter was arranged to transport both victims. Their wives were notified.
Danny was in critical condition. They were real concerned about Dad. They were afraid that the aorta was torn, and so they were talking about open heart surgery. It was really bad. It was like a dream, a nightmare. And you don't know what's going to happen, but you hope that you can go through and not break down.
Danny was admitted to San Bernardino County Medical Center under the care of neurosurgeon Margaret Wacker.
When Danny was in the field and not breathing well, he wasn't getting oxygen to his brain. That could cause people to have a lot of brain injury.
He's got some fractures around his face, around the base of his skull.
She told me that he could lose his memory and his personality could change and his judgment could be affected.
Sometimes there are things that only
the thing that scared me the most was that he might not remember me.
To see what was different after.
Bill Nelson's leg was badly broken, but his internal injuries proved to be minor. By the next day, his wife Marty could already see improvement.
Bill looked like he had just woken up from a nap. He had bruises on his body, but he didn't look that bad to me at all. Oh, what a relief. What an absolute relief.
What happened?
But he didn't remember anything. And I go, you've been in an air crash, honey. You were in an airplane crash. He goes, airplane crash? He didn't know anything about it. He didn't remember anything.
Yeah, honey,
For 3 days, Kathy Sadik saw no sign that her husband Danny was going to recover.
The kids send their love,
I was in there most of the time.
Dad's doing really good.
I just told him who I was, and that we loved him, and he's got to pull through. When we used to hold hands, he used to rub my nail, my thumbnail. Used to really bug me. I hated it because it hurt. And so I'd always pull my hand away and say, stop. But he started doing that. And I was glad he remembered me.
It's been 6 months since the accident that changed Danny Sadek's life.
I want to take her over where she can play.
I take things a little bit more cautiously, and I come to the realization that your life can be snuffed out in an instant. I'm more appreciative of my family, my kids, and I'm really sorry that I put my family through all that trauma and that sorrow that they had to go through.
Bill Nelson has also been affected.
Life is a precious thing. Every day you live, make it the best day, because you may never get another chance to be able to share a thought or share your love with somebody.
Recently, Danny and Bill got a chance to personally thank Barry and Ann Grant for helping to save their lives.
I'm glad that the first people to me was a nurse and another pilot.
Boy, you're tall when you're standing up.
They were there, the right place at the right time. You couldn't have chose anybody else that could have done what they did.
It was real exciting to meet them and see their emotion at meeting us.
Oh, bless your heart.
And instantly I feel as though I know and love these people.
We owe everyone a lot that took care of him. The medical personnel and everyone were really wonderful, especially Ann and Barry for being there, because I'm sure he would have died.
You're special people, and don't you ever forget it. You're very special, and we'll never forget you, believe me.
Childhood is meant to be a time of joy and innocence. But it's also a time when the difference between what is safe and what is dangerous is not yet clear, as Elaine Munyon was tragically reminded on March 4th, 1992, at her home in Shawnee, Kansas.
That morning, Elaine was reading to her 4 oldest children, while her 18-month-old twins, David and Jesse, played nearby.
The older twins always had their big sister who wanted to play too. These guys just kind of have each other, so wherever one goes, the other goes.
So they saved it until the morning, as Moses commanded. Eat today, Moses said, because today is the Sabbath to the Lord. You will not find any of it on the ground today. 6 days you are to gather it, but on the 7th day there will not be any. Nevertheless, some of the people...
It's not often that you get all 4 of them excited about a story at the same time. That was one reason I wasn't as in tune to the babies as I might normally have been.
Do you remember what manna is?
Yes. Yes.
Bread. It's bread, and what does it taste like? The people collected the manna from the ground every day, except on Timothy.
I'll just say Sunday.
Sunday? Sunday the Sabbath?
Sabbath.
That's the same thing. Yeah, the Sabbath's a hard word. Eat it today, Moses said, because today is the Sabbath to the Lord. You will not...
It like slowly permeates your consciousness. Wait a minute. I haven't heard any noise. I don't hear any talking.
Jonathan, could you check on the twins?
Mom, the babies are in the pool.
The pool?
He was so calm about it. I thought surely he must mean they're in the pool area. Half of me knew that it was a nightmare come true. And the other half of my mind was just saying, no, it's not true. They're not in there. They couldn't be in there.
When we continue.
911, your emergency. My mom's outside. My baby brother's in the pool. We think he's drowned. Help
I yelled to my daughter to call 911.
Shawnee 911, your emergency. My baby brother's in the pool. What's wrong? My mom's outside. My baby brother's in the pool. My baby's drowned. Okay, let me transfer you to the ambulance. Don't hang up.
Fire and ambulance, where do you need us?
Go ahead.
What's the problem?
She hung up. She said that her mother's outside and little boy was in the pool and they think he drowned.
Rescue units were immediately dispatched to the address that had automatically come up on the screen.
There was no sign of life. It had been so long since I'd had CPR training that I wasn't sure that I was doing it correctly. I could feel myself starting to slip over the edge into hysteria where all I was going to be able to do was scream.
From across the field, David Rood heard her cries for help.
I could see that she was trying to give CPR to both the babies and scream for help.
Elaine quickly instructed David on how to do CPR.
And I remember feeling guilty about giving David to him, and yet at the same time I knew that it would be much better to have one person for each baby instead of me trying to do them both.
Hold nose.
I was getting scared because I didn't know if I was helping. I didn't know if I was doing things right. I was really hoping somebody else would come along and help.
Shawnee Police Officer Larry Burmaster arrived at the house within minutes of the call.
The biggest surprise at that point was to find that there were 2 victims. I remember thinking that somehow I would have to decide which child to work with, and I really wished that I could do something for both of them.
710 dispatch, we have 2 victims.
When Shawnee Fire Marshal Jeff Hudson arrived, he recognized Elaine. Just 6 weeks earlier, he had given her family a tour of the local fire station.
I was terrified. I was scared. Jesse wasn't breathing. There was no pulse. He was blue. His eyes were open, and they were rolled back. He was lifeless.
I remember thinking, that's it, they're both gone. They're just both dead. They won't be able to bring him back.
Within 5 minutes, the first medic units arrived, including paramedic Mark Owens. He immediately went to work on David, whose condition was extremely critical.
He was so cold, all his peripheral veins constricted, so we had to go through the bone into the actual bone marrow and give him IV fluids that way.
Jesse was taken by ambulance to the nearest hospital. His twin brother David, still in critical condition, was taken by helicopter to Children's Mercy Hospital 20 miles away. As soon as Rob Bunyan heard what had happened to his youngest sons, he rushed home from work.
I had a sick feeling in my stomach. Elaine said that we need to decide where to go because they were going to different hospitals.
I guess as their mom, then I needed to be with the one who wasn't going to make it.
Okay, are you David's mom? Why don't you come in?
They brought me right in, and they let me stand right by his head. And I just bent right over, right to his ear, and just sang to him his favorite little nursery songs, and I told him I loved him. They transferred Jesse over later, after he was stabilized. They felt like they would get better faster if they were together.
We asked about the possibility of brain damage. And of course, at that point, they couldn't give us much of an answer. They said it would take some time to tell.
Elaine stayed with her babies through the night.
I remember as the hours went on and David still didn't wake up, becoming more and more concerned that there would be brain damage. And I remember praying and asking God, please don't take Jesse's playmate away.
The next morning, the twins were examined by pediatric critical care physician Brad Vaughn.
Okay, good boy. In my experience, the majority of these children that suffer a near-drowning episode will have brain dysfunction. And to see them recover so dramatically and come back to a normal neurologic state was very uplifting and heartwarming.
David, where's Jesse's nose?
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. Very good. When Jesse reached over and patted David, and David was awake and looking around, I just knew that they were both okay, and I felt like all those broken pieces of my heart were just back together again.
2 months later, Jesse and David have fully recovered without any sign of brain damage.
You just can't ever be too safe with babies. They don't understand danger the way we do. Now we have the pool cover drained, and we never let the babies out on the deck unless an adult is there. We're very thankful for all the emergency workers. I just feel this incredible love for them. I mean, they saved the lives of my children, and I'm so thankful for that.
Can you say wow? Say wow.
Next.
They said somebody's playing a practical joke on you. Maybe it's an inflatable alligator. Why don't you try poking it? Maybe it'll pop.
What do we do?
When Chris Hernandez and his wife Maria bought their home in the suburbs of Miami, Florida, they thought they had found the perfect place to raise a family. But they began to have doubts when some strange and inexplicable things started happening on the afternoon of July 5th, 1992.
Should be fine. It was pretty scary for me being pregnant and all. I mean, when my daughter gets older, I can show her the pictures to say, look, a month before you were born, all this happened and you were oblivious to all of it because you were inside my tummy.
Maria and Chris were on their way to a friend's birthday party that afternoon.
The steering column's jammed.
What do you mean it's jammed?
It won't let me turn. I could not move it. And also my alternator light came on. So because we were in a bit of a hurry and it was already getting a little bit late, we had to park the car back in the driveway and take the other car.
About 7 o'clock that evening, we got back home. My husband popped open the hood and he started to poke around to see what was wrong with the car.
I noticed on the right side of the engine what appeared to be a tail. And I thought, oh my God, I got a snake in my car.
Where?
Right there. Right
oh
there.
My God.
Let me see if it's alive.
Be careful.
Oh my God, it moved.
What do we do? I wasn't as mobile as I usually am, and I didn't know if the fear of this thing would make me go into premature labor.
What do you see?
There's a big tail down here, Marty. I can't make anything else out. Holy cow, get away from the car. There's a claw there. This is an alligator or a crocodile.
Get this thing out of here now, right now.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report an emergency, sort of.
We call Metro Day non-emergency number. They said somebody's playing a practical joke on you. Maybe it's an inflatable alligator. Why don't you try poking it? Maybe it'll pop.
Okay, give me the number.
Who are you gonna call?
She gave me a couple of phone numbers to some wildlife, game, rescue, etc.
But it was Sunday, and no one answered. In desperation, Chris called his best friend Tim Lanham, a 911 supervisor.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Marty. Hey, thanks for coming out, man. What's going on? Look at that. You see it?
Knowing Chris, I'm thinking, you know, like, I wonder what it is, really.
I think we have a little problem here, guys.
As soon as he realized the scale of the problem, Tim called the Florida Game and Freshwater Fish Commission. Officer John Esslinger was sent to the scene.
John Esslinger, Florida Game and Fish Commission.
Thanks for coming out. Check it out.
It looks like a gator or something, doesn't it?
No, it's no gator.
You sure?
What do you think?
What do you think it is?
I believe it's a big lizard. Is it alive?
Yeah.
look.
Just by the size of the animal, I could tell that it probably had potential to be dangerous.
You're gonna take it with you, right?
So once I figured out where the head was, I just stayed away from the head. Holy mackerel, he's a big boy. Yeah. He's about 4 or 6 feet long.
You think so?
Boy, he's up. Oh, he's frisky, all right. He's moving around up there. Chris, how do you feel about taking apart your car?
There was a fear that he wasn't trapped, that he was there by his own will.
Oh, he's strong. Yep. He's been eating his Wheaties.
I didn't know if it was angry or what.
He's holding on tight.
Yeah, he's grabbing on again. He's...
Oh!
Watch the car, Tim.
Yeah, he's expanding on us. He doesn't want to come out either way. Looks like he's found himself a new home.
Chris and I said, you're not going anywhere until you find somebody that can get rid of this lizard for us.
Pesky critters.
Todd Hardwick runs a company that specializes in nuisance wildlife control.
In an engine?
We had a feeling that it would be a monitor lizard, which makes me a little uneasy because monitors can be capable of inflicting an extremely nasty bite.
How you doing,
Hey,
John?
Todd. Appreciate you coming.
There? Hey.
There you go.
Wow, look at that.
Wow, he's big.
He's something else.
It's an Asian water monitor, every bit of 6 feet.
I was thinking that possibly when the engine started, the fan belts, which were now dislodged, had propelled him up into this position. And there was no way in the world that he was going to come out of this compartment alive.
Watch that tail when you're down there with your eyes.
Todd's associate, Jill Voigt, was hoping for a better outcome.
All I wanted to do was save this lizard and bring it home with me. That's what I wanted. I wanted the lizard.
I didn't really want to be near it, and yet I didn't want to miss the show either. My neighbors came out, they brought their beach chairs, and they said if we wanted some beer, they would bring out the cooler with the beers and everything.
Thanks a lot. Okay, here comes the soap, Jill.
Well, at least he's going to be a clean lizard.
Watch the head.
Yeah, okay, I got his 2 back feet now.
Okay.
He's really wound up in there.
Okay, I want to see him react, Jill. Give him a little bit of steady pressure.
I am pulling. He's stuck.
Okay, hold up, Jill. This isn't going to work like this.
So basically, after 20 minutes, we had a slimy trapped lizard. To them, it was like a challenge. It was like, okay, dishwashing liquid doesn't work. We're going to get this sucker one way or another.
He should start to react to the cold, and hopefully he'll slide right down into your lap. Be ready.
My father had told me, why don't you just kill it? Cut it up, and in 5 minutes, I'll wash it out, and it'll be gone, and I'll have my car back. But I really felt bad for the animal.
I would have stayed there all night long trying to get the lizard out unharmed and alive. If I had to hire a mechanic to come and take the car apart and help me, I would do that.
Around 10:30 p.m., Todd called a veterinarian who recommended a tranquilizer to relax the lizard.
Oh, he doesn't like that.
No.
There is considerable risk there. The animal could stop breathing, the heart could stop, and in a situation like he was, we would not be able to do much for him.
He looks pretty tranquilized now.
He all of a sudden relaxed, and his arms and claws and legs were not hugging the engine anymore, but he was wedged in there by this bar.
If you can just get that loose, we're going to have a lizard out of here.
You can have it, I don't want it.
Jill,
Everybody looked around, and everybody wound up looking at me. They're my tools. I guess I'm going to have to go under there and do it.
watch that tail, okay?
Oh, believe me, I am.
Jill, be ready to get under here.
Don't hesitate.
She's right here.
Don't let the engine fall on you now.
Jill, go, get under there now.
He rolled out from under that car faster than I've ever seen anybody move, and Jill was moving faster to get under the car.
It's coming out of there, Jill. Be careful.
There you go, lizard sliding down.
Okay, I got the head.
Watch the mouth.
He's coming. I'm pulling. Lizard's coming out. He's coming out. Oh, I got him. We have a lizard. I got him. I got him.
It looked like her long-lost pet puppy or something.
Look at him.
It was like, at last, I've got my hands on you.
What do you think, Todd? 6
Oh
feet?
man, he looks okay. Does he look
25
hurt?
pounds.
He look hurt?
He looks all right. He's got a little blister
It's
on
hard
the
to
chest
tell.
here, but he looks
He's
pretty
still
good.
tranquilized. Look, just like a little dinosaur.
Big claw, y'all.
All I kept thinking was, he's a lucky guy, because I could have driven away further and really hurt him.
We didn't bring a big enough cage to put this lizard in. And I said, well, Todd, since he's tranquilized, let's just take him in the cab with us. He can sit on my lap. And the lizard rode home in my lap, all the way with Todd looking at him like this. Lizard's not waking up, is he? Lizard's not waking up.
See you later.
The Asian water monitor, presumed to be an escaped pet, was treated for minor burns and a lacerated tongue. When no former owner showed up to claim him, Todd and Jill were able to give him a good home.
Here. He's a lot happier now than when he was in that engine. He's even got his own.
We get a phone call from Gecko Films. They want this lizard to be their mascot. Says this lizard deserves to live the life of luxury.
Dubbed Gordon Gecko, he's now under contract to the film company.
He's living presently in a big cage, complete with a waterfall, its own bathing pond, luxurious plants, and a food budget that surpasses mine.
The past year or so, we're seeing an increase in conflicts with exotic animals and people. And it may be that we're starting to build into areas where these exotic animals have been living for years, unapproached and unmolested. We've had people say, I'm afraid to check my oil now. I don't want to pop the hood on my car. What if I find one of those things?
I think he knows who I am. He tried to steal my car.
That's right.
I like Gordon and I'm glad he's fine. And it was fun and adventuresome at the same time, but I don't ever want it to happen again. Not my car anyway.
For years, Robert Kelly and his younger brother Brendan had gotten together with a few close friends for an annual backpacking trip. But on April 18th of 1992, while camping in the mountains north of Yosemite, they found themselves in a deadly situation none of them had planned for.
The remote locations that we go, there is nothing. You're in God's country, and there are no telephones, no cars, no roads. Everything is Mother Nature. Eric and Joe said they were going to see if they could go scout out a nice place to fish. We decided we were going to do some firing.
Just fish.
It's a great bunch of guys. I can trust each and every one of them with my life.
I'll catch up with you guys later.
Nick Mosley and the others soon joined 19-year-old Brendan, who was shooting target practice.
Rob shot a few rounds. I walked up and he stepped back and saw his log sitting in the water, sighted in on it. It was really loud. After I pulled back to hammer again, Tyler goes, "You want some earplugs?" And I thought about it for a second. And I said, "No," like that. And I go, "Yeah, good idea." And I dropped the gun straight down, straight pointed to the ground. I took a couple steps, turned, and reached like this. I saw the earplugs right in my hand. I looked down, I saw the hammer was back, and it slipped out from my thumb.
I couldn't believe it. Nick's gun is still smoking. I looked at my brother, and then about a 2 foot long gusher of flesh and blood just started spurting on my brother's body.
When we continue,
Shot!
It was registering in my head. This was a .357 Magnum hollow point that he had been hit with. He's dead. There's no way he could live.
Ben's been shot!
I had taken my right hand, put it over the bullet wound to stop the bleeding. He was losing a lot of blood, it was registering in my head. This was a .357 Magnum hollow point with hot loads that he had been hit with. He's dead. There's no way he could live. There was so much blood coming out that my hand slipped off of the wound momentarily, and I could hear the air escaping out because the lungs had been punctured. At that point, I looked up at Todd and I said, "Keep my brother alive."
I've got to go for a medevac. I'm going for help. Keep my brother alive.
It was like the worst possible nightmare. I couldn't deal with the stress of being there at the site. I just couldn't handle it.
It'll be all right. Just take it easy. Take it easy.
Two of the young men rushed over with a first aid kit from their camp.
You go get help? He took off. He just took off. Okay, I'm gonna go after. There's water right there. Okay. We had to get this pressure dressing on him. I just couldn't release my hand, you know, blood's gonna go everywhere. So Eric slid it under my hand and while I was holding it. He tied it off and then he added a second one. I was putting a lot of pressure on him and I was hurting him, but we had to stop that blood.
I knew there was a payphone about 3.5 miles away, and that was my goal. You know, and I'm not running fast enough. Run faster, faster, faster. And I was pushing myself, and I was alternating the Our Fathers and Hail Marys very fast, hoping that maybe the praying would help my brother keep him alive long enough for me to reach that phone.
911 emergency.
Hi, I'm calling from Pinecrest, California. My brother's been shot in the back.
What is your address?
We're by the Pinecrest Lake up the Valley Gorge at Lower Cleos. I need a medevac copter, ma'am.
All right.
My brother's dying.
What type of gun was he shot with?
He was shot with a .357 Magnum, almost point blank.
Members of the Pinecrest Volunteer Fire Department were sent to the scene. A Mediflight helicopter was also dispatched from more than 50 miles away, along with a search and rescue helicopter.
We waited and we waited. We assured Ben, you know, Ben, you're gonna be okay. That's the only thing we could do.
By the time the first rescuers arrived, including EMT Marty Rosenbaum, more than an hour had passed.
When we reached the victim, I saw that he had held on with his friends helping him.
Just hang in there, Ben. You're right.
I felt right in the middle of his belly, the whole outline of the bullet. That meant his chest had been violated and also his belly, meaning that he would be having an increasing difficulty breathing, and we were looking at very heavy internal bleeding.
Dan, thumbs up. Keep talking to us, guy. I want to hear from you.
The 19-year-old victim had to be carried a mile through rough terrain to the nearest place where the search and rescue helicopter could land safely. There, his condition was assessed by Dr. Don Dudley.
We needed to transport him as quickly as possible. He was in a lot of pain. He had no breath sounds on the right side. He appeared to be in early shock. We know he's bleeding severely in his chest. I know he's bleeding in his belly. Somebody like that can bleed out and die on you very quickly.
While rescuers prepared to take Brendan to the air ambulance waiting a few miles away, his brother Robert returned to the scene.
They wouldn't let me up towards the helicopter because they were getting ready to take off and they didn't want me in the way. But the feeling of hopelessness, helplessness, you know, when you're sitting there and you know that's your brother, your blood that's sitting up there dying, that could have been the last moments that I'd ever seen my brother.
Brendan was flown to Modesto Memorial Hospital. While the trauma team worked to stabilize Brendan, his parents, John and Elizabeth Kelly, rushed to be by his side.
I was in denial all the way up to the hospital. This can't happen. He can't die. He won't die.
I was extremely concerned as to the amount of damage. Those hollow point bullets, they just go in and they spread and they just bounce everywhere.
Surgeon Tony Tam examined Brendan's x-rays to determine the extent of his injuries.
After traveling through the chest and through the diaphragm, the bullet had destroyed the top pole of the spleen, following which it went through the stomach twice. So there were 2 holes inside the stomach. Then it went through the left lobe of the liver and took out a chunk of the liver and then rested inside the abdominal wall.
There's a bullet and here's a fragment.
And I took Nick into Brendan's bedside, and Brendan just put his hand up and grabbed Nick's hand. He said, "I love you, man." It was real hard for Nick to speak. He was wearing Brendan's hat. He took the hat off his head and put it on Brendan's head, and he said, "Here's your lucky hat."
When I went in to go see him, I grabbed his hand, and he looked straight at me, and he told me, "You're my favorite big brother. You saved my ass."
Amazingly, Brendan Kelly has almost completely recovered from his injuries. He now spends time speaking to young people about gun safety.
People don't understand how powerful guns are, how much damage it can do. That one bullet couldn't cost more than 50 cents, but hospital bills are well over $60,000 already. Even past that, it could have cost me my life.
I've shot many different weapons. Doesn't matter how many times you shot a gun. Doesn't matter how experienced you are. Doesn't mean nothing. You can flush all that stuff down the toilet. It takes a moment of breaking concentration, and boom.
Once that gun kicks and that bullet's down the barrel and going towards whatever it's going to hit, you can't take it back. I mean, if I could take back time, I'd take back, the bullet that went into my brother, but we can't do that. And all we can do is just thank the Lord above that my brother's alive, and that this story has a happy ending.
Yeah.